and you watch Donald Trump, do you ever laugh? Do you ever actually laugh?
Most of the time.
Did you ever actually watch that Access Hollywood Billy Bush tape? Did you ever sit?
I did.
You did?
I saw it.
And at that moment, did you know that it was going to be as notable as it turned out to be?
Well, I didn't you?
Some stories in American public life don't reveal themselves all at once. They unfold slowly, across years and stages, through different voices in different rooms, until one day, you step back far enough to see the full shape of what's been happening. This is one of those stories. What Barack Obama did to Donald Trump on April 30th, 2011, and what Jimmy Kimmel did on March 10th, 2024, is the same move, the same weapon, the same quiet, unhurried comedic precision, deployed 13 years apart, on very different stages, by two very different men. In both times, the most powerful man in the room had no choice but to sit there and absorb it. Stay with this one, because every layer of it is more extraordinary than the last.
Nobody was caring much about it. I figured you'd ask the question tonight, of course, but nobody was caring much about it. But I was the one that got him to produce the birth certificate, and I think I did a good job.
To understand what happened, you have to go back to Washington. 2011. The White House Correspondents' Dinner. Black tie and chandelier. Journalists packed around round tables. And right there, near the front where every camera in the room could find him, sat Donald Trump. He had spent months stoking the birther movement publicly and relentlessly questioning whether the sitting president of the United States was even American. He had made it his cause, his brand, and on that particular evening, Barack Obama walked to the microphone with the easiest smile in the room. What he did next didn't just win the night, it created a blueprint. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't attack. He didn't even look rattled. He simply began to speak.
Donald Trump is here tonight. Now, I know that he's taken some flack lately, but no one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell?
With the entire ballroom watching, Obama noted that no one was more relieved to put the birth certificate issue to rest than Donald Trump, because now Trump could finally focus on the real mysteries, like the moon landing, Roswell, and the whereabouts of Biggie and Tupac. The room erupted. The cameras found Trump immediately. He wasn't laughing. He sat completely still, stone-faced in a sea of laughter, and the country understood. Something had just happened that he had no answer for. Obama wasn't finished. He moved on to Trump's television career, referencing a recent episode of The Celebrity Apprentice in which Trump had resolved a leadership crisis by firing Gary Busey. These decisions, Obama said with Surgical.com, are the ones that keep him up at night. The ballroom dissolved into laughter again. Trump's expression didn't move an inch. Many would later point to that evening as a turning point, but it was only the first chapter. 13 years later, on a Sunday night in March 2024, Jimmy Kimmel stood at the Dolby Theater hosting the Academy Awards, somewhere in Florida. A man who claimed not to be watching was apparently watching very closely, because mid-broadcast, a lengthy, furious post appeared online calling Kimmel the worst host in Oscar history and demanding he be replaced. Backstage, someone saw it. A decision was made. They showed Kimmel. When the broadcast resumed, he walked to his mark, pulled out his phone, and in that same composed, unhurried tone used 13 years earlier in a Washington ballroom, read every word of the attack aloud to millions of people live. Then he paused and delivered 9 words that would be replayed everywhere before the night was over. Isn't it past your jail time? The logic was airtight. Either a former president doesn't watch a show he claims to ignore, or he watches closely enough to post about it in real time. The timestamps made the case without any help. The audience knew exactly what they had witnessed, that the clip spread overnight, millions of views by morning, and the man who sent the original post kept responding, each reaction only confirming that the joke had found its mark. Then came the turn nobody expected. In September 2025, after months of sustained attacks on late-night television, ABC pulled Kimmel off the air indefinitely following a controversial monologue. No advance warning. His producer delivered the news after the show wrapped. Kimmel had no idea it was coming. What he did when the cameras came back on is the reason this story endures. He didn't return angry. He didn't arrive with a manifesto. He came back exactly the way Obama had in 2011.com, smiling, completely unhurried. He read the attacks out loud. He let the jokes do the work. And the audience, watching a comedian flatly refuse to be diminished, responded in a way they hadn't before. The record writes itself. Obama used calm humor in 2011 and changed the room. Kimmel used calm humor in 2024 and did the same. Trump sat silent in 2011. Trump couldn't stop typing in 2024. 13 years, 2 stages, 1 technique, and the same man repeatedly discovering that the one thing he cannot overpower is someone who refuses to raise their voice. Some lessons only need to be taught once. This one was taught twice, 13 years apart, and the pattern is now impossible to miss.